just simply go to your org and then okay, just go to your org and try for searching data loader.
Data wizard.
Data loader. So two things we have. One is the import wizard by default system has. Another one is the data loader we have where we have to download. One is for Windows we have, one is for Mac we have, so you can download as the version which you want. So I'm downloading for Windows. My PC is Windows PC. So go to your any of your org or the same org is anything is fine. So all you have to do is go to type your data loader in the home and then basically you're coming from setup and then you're trying to type this.
Data loader for Windows. Okay.
Yeah. So I've done for Windows. If you have Mac PCs, you can download for Mac.
Okay. Got it. And then
So once you download, you need to install it. Let me extract this first. Can you see any installation file for you? No, the Java is having issue here. So Sandeep, were you able to do it?
no, I just came. I stepped away from the. Do you want me to open the installer back? Which one to run?
No, no. If you have Java bin installed, it says that okay, install it. Mm,
I just opened this folder. Whatever you're looking, I
same,
have this.
same it is.
Okay. Click on that install file and then
So when it's asking for you to no, install it,
no. If I right click on it, it's giving me a couple of options: open, cut, copy, delete properties. That's it.
oh. So your PC doesn't have a Java.
No, I guess.
That's the reason I think.
Okay. Um, what to do now?
Which folder should use?
Do you want me to install Java or? Hey,
So
can't.
I have to go to this location. Just a minute. I'm just going to that location which was uses and somewhere hit data loader.
So I clicked on the Windows installation instructions, and it is asking me to install Zulu OpenJDK version 11 for
Yeah,
Windows.
yeah. I have to install the Zulu.
Okay, download Zulu. Perfect. Linux, no, not Linux, I'm on Windows.
So do you have got a link for to download the Zulu?
Right. It is in the Salesforce org itself. If you go to Salesforce org, yeah, there you go. Windows installation instructions. Click on the second link.
And my PC doesn't have a Java. Okay.
Scroll down. Okay. Oh, this looks different.
Okay, this the same one.
Yeah. Okay. Download Zulu.
Hmm. I think I have to install it for.
Windows, right? Yeah. Scroll down. There you go.
So your PC is 64-bit or?
Yeah, 64. Mine is 64. Yes.
Yeah, it's a 64 BC and x64 based processor.
Right. Is it .zip or .msi?
MSI will also work.
Okay, I'm downloading the .msi for Windows.
Yeah, that is also works.
Oh,
So Linux, Max. Okay, let me open the. MSI is directly an installable file. So once you
okay.
open, mine it takes 1 minute to do it because the Zulu has installation. And meanwhile, you can just check the file that how a .csv file would look like. It jumps to there.
Yes, I'm here.
So look at this. This is what I was saying as an ID, and so you will have these records. Let's say master record ID, name, parent ID, if anything we have. So this is typically for account.csv. You see on the top, account data.csv. A sample file of which a data loader has been given to us.
Okay.
So when I went to
Okay.
downloads and in the data, I could see sample data. I could see some data, which is account and opportunity data, which is part of the extractor we got it. And these are the sample records which we have. So we can upload these many accounts to the Salesforce. Overall, some 400 records plus they have. So you can do update, insert. You can play with these records. But we don't know that whether this ID is present in the Salesforce or not. So firstly, we need not to consider this. We need to consider as a new record. We have to install, add them. So prior getting to a data loader, what we'll do is
I don't know. I tried installing on Mac, but I got some error. It's saying unable to access jar file data loader. It's not
which
able to
which
access
version which version did you? I mean,
51.01.
no. You specifically dealt with Mac version, right?
Yeah, yes, yes. Went to the Mac one. Download data loader for Mac.
So can you see that instruction for Mac we have? Download instruction for
Yeah,
Windows we checked. For it, can you check that? And then if
I
you
did same launch icon on the application. When I do the launch, after installation, when I do the launch icon, it's saying that error. I think when it was installing only, there was some issue. Something happened. Saying unable to access that jar. I don't know. Unzipping created a problem.
I
The
installed.
jar is already there. I'm not sure why it's not able to.
oh, your kid is that background.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry. Yes, fight going on to go to bed.
You have to attend.
You're saying that he's not giving well now, so that's the reason.
No, no, not he. My daughters, little ones, 10
Oh,
month old are one of them is not well.
then they won't shut like that.
No, no. I will check on this. I'll see what is going on probably
Yeah,
tomorrow
yeah.
or something.
Okay, I finished installation.
So yeah, mine is also on the way. Just it'll install in a minute.
One second.
So instruction from Mac system.
So do you get a success message after installing? I just got process completed, I guess. I didn't get anything like a success or anything.
Hey, you have a Zulus for even for Mac OS. Did you try?
I did not do that. Oh, you did something. I went from the website, which you like data loader. Then I went
Ah,
to
then look at this instruction we're looking into. Where's that? Ah, yeah. Even they are asking Zulu open or JDK you install for Mac OS, which is the
oh,
.dmg file. You need to have it.
okay, okay, okay. I'll do that. I'll do that tomorrow.
You can
Today
also have a
itself.
zip file, but you can do that directly .dmg. That is a file which you can install. It says something like .exe file. It is like for Mac it is
Oh,
.dmg.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's DMG file.
That you can do. And otherwise, let me check with this one.
Let me go.
How do you verify whether Zulu is installed or not? Count.
Zero.
Which version of Zulu? The latest one?
The latest one, 11, we are doing it.
No, 15,
Okay.
I guess, right?
Yeah,
For
15.29, right?
Right, yeah.
I don't know. So open which one? DataLoader or Zulu saying?
Zulu Zulu.
I don't know
It
the.
says 15 point. We installed 15.29.15.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I only have that for Mac DMG. Okay, let me get that.
15 is the starting version we have. Other than you see all 16, 17 is going on. Hey, yeah, we have 11 also. Oh. So let's see if we have any crack things. Then we'll go. Anyway, we have installed the latest version. No problem. I'm gonna simply just query the DataLoader.
Okay. Now we need to go to data loader again and try to install file.
No, no. We just have to open and see. Let's see.
I don't have this app.
What's happening now?
If if I'm trying to install, I'm getting an error message. Unrecognized app from starting running this app might put your PC at risk. And if you go to the installation steps in the document, he clearly mentioned like if you get an unknown publish error, you can ignore and run the file. See the fourth one. Oh, not for OS. Yeah, even for the OS. Click the fourth. See the fourth one. Double click the install.bat file. If you get an
Mm-hmm.
unknown publish. a message, you can ignore and run the file. So I think we are good to run it, even if it
Yeah.
says no or yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Oh,
For
okay,
me, it's
run
not.
anyway.
For me, it's not allowing
Click,
you
click
to
on more
do.
info. Click on more info.
Oh, is it? Well, anyway, okay.
Okay, which folder should we use? Perfect.
Oh, this is a crazy again. It comes in. Mm,
Is there any sequence that I should install Zulu first and then the data loader?
Um,
I don't know. I'm getting this error. Just pasting it. I do not know what it is.
does
Or
it?
should it be in that folder, the data loader? Okay, Kant, I think I need to go. I'll look at the
no
recording
problem. No
because my
problem.
kid is crying. Yeah, thanks.
Hi Kant, I just clicked on enter and it is trying to install in the default folder, default data loader folder, I guess. Would you like to create a shortcut menu?
No, what they're saying is, I'm just watching a video how to download and install. So first they're expecting to have a Zulu.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, data loader installation is quitting. Okay. Yeah, the same thing I did.
Resolve it, no.
Yeah. Uh,
So
what
then,
happened? No, once it says quitting, do okay. Installation is quitting. Press any key to continue. Okay. Let's see if I have the data loader. I already tried this step when I was trying it like maybe 3 weeks before. I tried to install the data loader.
okay.
Okay, I see data loader, but data loader required Zulu. Okay, I got the screen. Welcome to data loader. Insert, update, upsert, delete, export all screen.
Listen, nice. More info, run anyway, I'm trying to.
Right. Checking if it is installed. Okay. So you're trying to open which is already installed. Oh, and this is the latest version 51. I have 50.
Yeah, it says installed. Yeah, we got it.
Okay.
Oh, it goes along with that. Crazy. Okay, anyway, now it is already identified. Now it should open it.
I have the old version, but anyways, I have something to work.
So always, I think it checks and then it opens. I think.
Okay. Right. Hmm. I heard like with the import wizard you cannot delete, and with the data loader you can delete the data, and you can
Yeah, I mean, couple of things you can do, but
limit up to
again, it's
6,000
loading.
rows of import wizard, right?
It's taking so long. Okay, no problem. Okay, so we just want to make sure that the data loader, what do you say? Data loaders, we have it. So I will just give a recommendation here. What is should be there. Um, so firstly, we are focusing on which chapter? On the 17th chapter. Um, So this all talks about the overview of data activities. Importing and exporting, this would something in the UI would do it. Importing and export using DataLoader is the one we have to deal with. Mass released, we can check here, but how to install here? We'll add another point, how to install DataLoader. If it's a window PC, so then I would just copy the link which you're referring, right? Install DataLoader for Windows. I just keep this link here. I think this is more than enough, no? For Mac. So we'd say download. So no, for DMG file. Yeah, we're gonna do it.
DMG or
MSF.
MSA file?
Yeah,
MSA, right?
we download MSF for Windows Mac.
Okay.
I'm saying down. Even Tushar is using Mac. So download .msi file. So download MSI file. Download the data loader and click on install .map file. Click on more info. Run anyway. Okay. I have YouTube video also.
I have a quick question. So, what are the main important certifications that are required? I know admin developer, right? And then there is one more. You said JavaScript developer.
Yeah. So that is for
Uh,
LWC.
that is for LWC, right? And how about the app builder?
So those are not, I mean, not that great required. Admin and app builders are very close, and app
Okay.
builders and PD1 are very close. So it's just like a stream you try to do it. They all talk about the platform only. Hmm.
Okay.
Admin, app builder, and PD1. So these guys are one of the way they're talking all about platform. App builder specifically what I can create with an application, as while creating an application, what are things I require. So those is talks about app builder,
Okay.
and even few admin concepts comes there. If I say typically in admin, so it starts from all the configurations, what you can do. So that is the main thing there. And in app builder, even in app builder also you need to do some configuration. So some few portions of admin stuff would come in the app builder. So
Okay.
now for a platform developer one, when I say a platform developer, again, a developer, platform developer means you are a beginner. So you again you will not have a full knowledge of development. So then what I do again, I'll ask you a few platform questions. Here there
Okay.
one is small snippets that I can ask you, but it's all about the platform, which is quietly onto the developer mode. Some questions will be related to developer, which is 10 to 15 questions. But other things again, if you see, majority of the platform admin concepts only would be. For me, these three things are all are identifying the fundamentals of basic Salesforce.
Okay. So, if I ask you a question, so which is more important apart from admin and developer? Is app builder important or JavaScript developer important? Which one is important? Which one is good to have?
So if you are in a developer mode, just have PD1, platform developer one.
Okay.
In someday you will take platform developer two. So that is a good track. And then if you
Okay.
have a JavaScript one, it's another one. It's another advantage. Why?
Oh,
Because you are getting into JavaScript mode. So this is absolutely helping us onto the developer side. So where if you say an admin is yes, you can have lately also not no need to have right now. People with a PD1 also they have given an exam,
okay. Okay. Got it.
but they have if you say that 4 or 5 years of experience in sales for some time.
Okay.
So why don't you have an admin? If say you have a working knowledge, you have to say that.
Got it. Got
I,
it.
I am focusing only on the developer side, so I have to I don't know PD1. and there's no reimburse concept in our company, so I didn't do that. That's still fine because what company says that is what you have done. So admin is what not relevant to you because already PD1 people would know basic admin if you think that's fine.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Kam.
Yeah. So what I want to do is so we have installed the DataLoader, and if you have any questions, you can see this video. So they have explained very clearly how a DataLoader should be installed, and they were good. So now all we're gonna see is how do we we'll come to the DataLoader part, but we're just gonna use out of box which is there, something like import wizard. How do we try to install the insert the records? All you have to go to a setup, and then you have to check for import wizard. So
Yeah.
if you drawbacks, we have an import wizard. That's the reason we jump into a DataLoader. What is the drawback if you see? Only in objects and then standard objects, we have very less to insert there. But whereas custom objects, it get a couple of options. And moreover, only the 50,000 is record is a limit when we have to talking about the input wizard.
Mhm. And also you cannot delete, I guess, right?
Yeah, so this is the data import wizard we have. And if you look into here, hey Jamsil.
Hey guys.
Oh, were you able to join? Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't do much about here, so we just have a clear note here. How to install the DataLoader. So we have a
Okay.
YouTube link here. This you have to follow. And for
Okay.
Windows, this URL we are following, and then .msi file we are installing, and download and
Okay.
simply run the bat file. It would work for
Okay.
Windows. For
Okay.
Mac, I think you have to have this URL you have to follow, and then you have to download from Zulu DMG file, and then you have to
Right.
configure.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, this YouTube
I've
video will help
done.
you out.
Oh, that's for
Uh,
both Mac and Windows.
yeah, so they're putting it.
Okay. I'll check
Let me
that.
put into a chat also. Just check once, and yeah, you can do this later also. So just let's
Yeah, I'll
focus
do
on.
it later. Yeah.
It's just an installation, and so now what I'm trying to focus on. So this is the chapter of data utilities. We have import and export overview, and then comes data loader. So why I wanted is like if you have installation ready, so anytime you can play with. That's the reason we just jumped there. So to go to an import wizard, data import wizard is something that we have. It is an out of box with the Salesforce itself. We have up to 50,000 records you can insert. Look, they have put here.
Mm.
Anything behind 50,000 records, you have to jump into data loader and you have to do it. But prior to that, hey, simple 50,000 records or less than that, I think you can use the data import wizard only. You not to go do there and all the stuff you have to do. So what is advantage we have? I will just compare and then give a note here. So firstly, we'll see what is available but directly when I jump into an org, what I can do, what I can't do. So we'll see that, and then we'll jump to another tool which is something called data loader, which is again native Salesforce only, but they're something that you have to install and you have to play with it. But this is not like that. Where it is already one of the options. If you just simply go here to setup and then you type for data input wizard, you get this option. So I'll tell you here, this is the data input wizard. You have to say simply data input wizard, you will get it. So here we are. So clean up your data import file. So you will have fewer errors to resolve if the data is clean and free for duplicate. So while you wanted to clean up your data, so something that you wanted to do it, so we can using this, but the data should be very clean enough. Then only you can do it. Make sure the field names are matched with the Salesforce field names. Of course, when I'm just uploading an Excel sheet like this, something name type, you can't give ABC here and then do it. If something ABC is also fine, but make sure you are going to assign it to a proper field. For example, here the billing code is US, so you can't associate to name. And somewhere we have a what is that? Something like rating. Where is some rating? Rating is a pick list value, hot, warm, cold, something we have. For that, you cannot give a random text because that is a pick list value which is already defined in Salesforce called rating, hot, cold, warm. Something you cannot add new value. Maybe the pick list are restricted only whatever the defined pick list value only can upload it. So you cannot say that here's something called as new, yeah? Which is not there in the pick list at all. So how can you do that? So make sure the data which we are trying to do it should be very clean enough, and we know how do we are mapping it properly, that we have to know through. So that is what saying. Make sure the field names match Salesforce field names. Your
Does
Excel
it,
column,
if you send unmatched information or some different information,
it'll get failed.
fail, and will you get notification about it?
Yeah, you will get it at the last. You'll get it. So there is a monitoring. See, we have a bulk API monitoring.
Okay.
So this is something that
So,
we have.
sorry. So does it like does a whole file insertion like the uploading fail, or only certain records uploading fails?
Only certain records which we upload that fails. Very good question.
Oh, okay.
Yes, of course. In other times, in a programming way, when you try to put a file and then one file fails, everything will revoke, right? It's not like that.
Right.
So it's not that way. Yes. So basically, this all run in a batch mode because thousands of records running, right? So it'll run in a batch mode, and any one who failed, that particular failed record only will skip it out and say that hey, out of 1,000, this 12 is got failed.
Okay.
So if you see this is a bulk data load jobs, I think I have explained in the past how a data load jobs works. Let me tell you. Where you go wherever. So I think we are covering on this area, which is that on 20th chapter, only on that day we saw audit trails, right? So now we are checking onto the bulk data load jobs. This is all monitoring things we do it. Hey, uploaded data, where do I see the what is happening, what is went wrong? So that is the areas this is. So let me click on home. So go for monitoring. In the monitoring, if you go, you see, let me do jobs. So you see bulk data load jobs. So the same window is this one which they're talking about. You see this monitor bulk data load jobs. So the same window here, right? How do I got into here is it says bulk API monitoring. You are an input wizard. You're trying to do some activity of uploading a file. So it says bulk API monitoring. Click on that. It just gets here. Or if you don't, if you miss this something, this you are allowed to click it. Just go to home and then type jobs. There, bulk data load jobs. Same page you'll land into. So what it explains is basically how many records are in progress, how many we have completed in the last 7 days. It shows everything here. Here it says records process passed or processed or records failed. How many tests? All it shows. To which object you're uploading, what is status, start time, who submitted, everything it shows. So it says your organization has processed 0 batches in the last 24 hours. Your organization can process 15,000 batches in 24-hour period. One second, guys. So how many minutes we have? 1 minute we have. So I think before starting this, I wanted to quickly start. So let's connect again back. No, explaining onto the same.
Okay.
Okay. So at least we'll see data import wizard and then data exporting we will do. So possibly if we have time, we will complete the data loader also. That's the three things all we have. If you have installed the file, that's we have quick enough. Okay, join back, guys. We're gonna
Yeah.
start. Thank you. So what I'm trying to say is we are just learned to data input wizard, and then it says that here also it just gives a basic info of what status and object, how many records created, how many records got updated, how many records failed, start date and processing time, everything it shows. So before we start at data import wizard, we have to know a few things. That is what they're saying. Just make sure that the field maps are correct, and then using the data input wizard, you can do import up to 50,000 records at a time. Importing too many records can slow down your org or fall for users, especially during the periods of peak usage. It depends on your org. So try to do all these activity in the weekend so your org would not be impacted with anyway. But let's say very busy orgs, a very busy company, Even McDonald's, if you see, so their restaurants would be keep busy, and when you need to find out in a week which time particularly they are like less number of users they're doing it, and on that particular day we have to do this all the activity. Any deployment we do or any import we do, something which is causing to our that all you have to do it on the where slow peak time we have, that time we can do it. Okay, so import your data in three easy ways. So first we have to prepare a data what we have to import and choose the data what we have to import and edit field mapping and review and start importing it. So here also we have an import data video series. You can just quickly check videos here. Salesforce by default they're giving it. You can just quickly check the videos. How do we they are making it an import wizard videos. So these are the quick links that choosing right tool and import. How do you prepare the data? How do you honor the ID participants implementing? Or what basically they give an example of how do we do it. So this is Salesforce series. They are already giving a simple videos. It will allow you to quickly understand what they're trying to talk about also. For a data input wizard, Salesforce uh, series on import wizard. Okay. So this is one thing we have. So now I wanted to upload a file, but I see an Excel file which we have. It's having too much information. But it has too much of information and account.csv we have. I don't want these so much of records. I need to cut down them. Um, so we have to do something here. So what we'll do is from here I'll try to even I don't want that undone. So only I want to have name and type and parent ID, billing address, shipping address. This is enough. I want to insert at least 10 records. So altogether I'm going to find a new file. I'm gonna do it. So let's say type and parent ID we don't have. So whichever is blank, delete them off, not required. So now we have absolutely billing street, billing city, postal, all we have. So this is absolutely for a new account which I'm trying to save, and I'm gonna save it as a .csv file. Mm, So I want to store not a .xls file. It should be a .csv file, comma delimited value .csv. This .csv, this comma deleted, whatever you can choose. Basically, comma separated values only we needed. So I'm choosing comma delimited .csv file. I'm saying this is account records. Say data load. And this I'm trying to save it. So now this account records.csv, I need to upload it. How? Just go launch wizard. So it says let's do it, edit mapping and start importing wizard. So what we're trying to do is, if you see standard objects, we have very less here. Just look at this. That's the reason, one of the reason where import wizard people would not use this. Hey, you can import up to 50,000 records, I agree. But what is this? One of these many standard objects we have. We have so many standard objects we have. Let's say DataLoader will pull up and then I'll say insert. Yes, you have to log in. Admin at mcd.com, and then I'm going to give it training 123. So it asks my verification code. Let me check to my email. The code is 74997. So it asks you, do you want to allow the data load partner here? Is this how you're going to do at the very beginning? While you wanted to just do insert, update, whatever you do, but probably you have to say that you have to log in. Since I've already logged in to the other browser, I just clicked on what. Of course, we are into the production environment, so we are not doing anything with the sandbox. Sandbox is all for test.salesforce.com, something we have, but we're not doing that. It's not a paid version. Free developer also falls under the production only. So look at here now. If I say account and then to which particular folders that we're dealing, that also have to mention. And I see just the folder. Okay, let's assume this. To see here, I'm just loading the file whatever I wanted, but do you see this? So many objects we have. Opportunity I could see, leads I could see, whatnot. User task. How many standard objects you could see here? Show all Salesforce objects. The moment I do, I get all the objects. So that is one advantage we have in the data loader. But where this guy said, I show all the objects. Only 4, 5 years. We are not even seeing opportunities here. When you want to upload a data for an opportunity, we don't have an option here. It's getting.
Yeah.
So we jump into data loader that time and then we do specifically what we can do, play with it. Okay, now standard objects, I choose an account. Okay, fine. But whereas if you see custom objects, whichever the custom objects we created, all we got it here. No any doubt in that. Only for standard objects, we have no basic objects only they're giving it here. Accounts I've chosen, and I've specifically wanted to insert a new records because I'm not dealing anything with an updating existing record, adding new records. How do you identify the contacts? Contacts we don't have. How do you match the accounts? Match the accounts by name and site. I don't have name and site. Record type. All you wanted to go to restaurants are the business customers or individual customers. So I would say all these are the business customers who are flowing in. Quickly, let me check my Excel sheet. Gravity investments. All those all looks like a business case. Okay, I'm putting it all them to a business customer. So this questions for I don't have an answer where you wanted to match an account with name and site. I may have a name, but I don't have a site here. So I'm just leaving blank for all the trigger workflow rules and process for new records updated. If you are running any trigger logic or a process builder logic, something that you have to enable it, you can give a checkbox here. Why? Because while you're trying to upload, even they also wanted to run for you because they also trying to do some logic on a new insert a new record. They are trying to do some XYZ activity. On inserting new record, you trying to say them, hey, just go do this. On updating a record, go do this. You're saying it, but that options, if it is required, you can enable them. But ideally, we don't. Not when they're still. So maybe or may not require. We'll talk it later. Trigger workflow rules and process when their criteria are met by imported records. While you're inserting records, you want to meet that criteria, and they also wanted to run it along together to this. We can enable this. Currently, we're dealing with flat records we're inserting. We're not having any idea of doing all this. I simply went on accounts and customer contacts. I have only accounts here. I don't have contacts either. So I just simply choose none. And then I wanted to get into business record type. Look at these are the files that we can upload to the right side. Outlook CSV, Axe CSV, or Gmail CSV, normal flat CSV we have. All this we can add a file, we can drop them. Normal CSV file. So I'm going to choose, of course, it is a comma separated value. Choose a file. DataLoader, all files, .csv. Open this. Yeah, file we have chosen. It E or tick mark, that means we are aligned with the formats. So next. So this is what we do it here. So it says this header value in a CSV file mapped to multiple Salesforce fields. Make sure to edit them. Otherwise, billing street to billing state, billing city, state, everything it got mapped automatically. So they also have intelligent system that your CSV headers should match with our Salesforce fields. So they try to do maximum out of majority here. But sometimes, look at this, the name has been mapped multiple times here. I'm going to change it. Why you are worrying about account name and a contact name? I don't want this. This absolutely I'm trying to get an account name, not a contact name. Okay. The name field which I am uploading from here, I meant to have a account field. It's not a contact field, right? So it was by default it automatically selected for two. Account name and contact name both it selected the same. I don't wanted it. Simply for account name, the name which we mentioned that is more than enough. See, account name to name. Account name plus contact name also was there added here. I don't want that. Okay, now we are good. I think there's no any warning symbol we have here. Billing city to billing city automatic map for everything it map only for the name. Since contact we don't have, so two fields automatically selected the name field. I removed one. So this particular field is mapped only for the account. So I just mapped that. So these are sample records, how it will be. So that's an example they're giving it. For example, Gravity Investments, and this is address, Force U number. Yes, we have a record like Gravity Investment here at the very beginning. And this address, how it look like. So they're showing in a preview how your record would look like. Of course, this is our original record which I tried to upload in our Excel sheet. That is the record that is showing here. And then let's say next. So 5 fields we have mapped, and there's absolutely new records, and this is CSV files, and this is the object that we're focusing on. Unmapped fields, we don't have any such because all the 5 fields we have mapped already. Unless we click on start import, we don't see any records flowing in. So click on start import. Congratulations, your import has been started. Click OK for the status of the bundle developers. If you click on OK, then you'll get to know, see that how many records got processed and what has happened. Once the task is completed, they will say closed. For DataLoader job which you run, you will have an ID, and then that's what the ID it is here. And who submitted, what is start time, end time, how many time it has taken, what type file, what DP version, how many records processed, everything they will show. Process 100% of failure of one record, all they will show here. Look at this. 10 records processed, out of them all success record. You can click on view results, you can check. So view request and we view results. These are the .cc file. You have to convert them back to .cc file and check. This is this. Each of the record which is inserted, their ID we got it. And success is true, credit is true. There's no error they found. So that way, we got to know all the records got success. Any questions, guys? Yeah. So we also mounted the data import wizard bulk data load jobs. Where ideally you go to jobs and you're gonna see data load jobs and you see the latest record which has been done. Look at this for the last 7 days. So this is a job that is run through. So widely go to bulk data load jobs and you monitor here. This is how the real time I can show you how to monitor our org. So you went to data load jobs and you're seeing it.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So this is about we are trying to import the records to Salesforce, and ideally we have to check the records is inserted or not, right? Gravity. Let me check for gravity. The gravity investments we got it. So this is gravity investments and this address which you loaded. So let me check all accounts. So all the 10 records which we did, even that has to become here. And all I've inserted to business accounts only. So business accounts, if we see, so they would be part of the business customers. So gravity, experience, all this are come to business customers. If we just go to restaurants, they won't be available there because we have chosen record types properly there. So any questions so far?
No.
So in the same way, we have export also. So export is something, data export I'm talking about. Where if your org says import wizard, exporting also we have overview of this. How to export? We just jump into go to export here, go to data export. You receive monthly export services. Export lets you to prepare a copy of all your data in a Salesforce outcome, and from this you can start your export process manually or schedule it to run automatically. Either way, we can export now or schedule. We can do it. When export is ready to download, you will receive an email containing the link that allows you to download the files. Because you have something imported here and then you can schedule it also. We just get an email saying that export is ready, you can download now. So advantage of this also I'll tell you, because so far in the Salesforce you've seen only how do we import it. Now while exporting, along with files and their attachments and what it is, you can get everything via through this option. And this may not be applicable in DataLoader also. So this is as more advanced compared to DataLoad while exporting only. So what they do is they give you along with files. So that's the point they mentioned here. I think not there, no mention. So when an export is ready for download, you will receive an email saying that links allows to download the files. Okay. The export files are available on this page for 48 hours, after which they are deleted. Okay, no problem. So 48 hours you have time to download the file, whichever you requested. Let's go ahead, export now. Click on them. Look at this was the option I was saying. Include image, documents, and attachments. Include any content versions we have. So if all do this, it'll no, it'll get all the fields which you are trying to, sorry, get all the supporting or child objects also the records that flows through. Include all data. Now you are specifically talking about, hey, I wanted to get only the account. You can export. And let me do one thing. For MCD restaurant, for Telangana, I'll try to upload some file here, and then I'll download the content version also. Then you'll get to know. Okay, where's notes and attachments? I'll upload a file here. Think that I'm uploading the same random record. I mean, it is it's just like CSV file. Anything we can upload here. No any restriction that a .jpg or anything that we can do it. It's a file, basically uploading a file here. No, nothing to worry about. So what happened for Telangana record? I've uploaded one document and I'm saying view all. So this is the record that we have, and then view file details. If I see, you see this on the top, there is a content document. So what I'm trying to say is, so this is a separate object where the files have been stored, which document, which version, where it is, all this we have, no? So that's the reason we are trying to talk here. Salesforce files and Salesforce CRM content document versions. Along with files and notes and attachments, I want the extract of an account. In this account, one of the record, I just uploaded a file. So by exporting now, what are the documents you will give? Let's see. I'm going to start export. This is crazy. When notification receives, that time only you can see this record. No problem. This will at least take 5 minutes. This is getting what I'm trying to do. Exporting the data from a Salesforce just by the UI point click. We're not going to do anything here. If I say account and I say all the sub-related attachments, documents, content version, everything you bring it, I'm saying. So it should come along with that. Now let's say in Salesforce here, I have an export and export all options. What is this export and export all? If you see in DataLoader, export tries to export the record which is active. That means non-deleted record. Export all tries to extract even the deleted records, which is there in the recycle bin. So let's say we have using this record account, some account you are trying to use. And let's say gravity investment you have. You deleted this record. It will be there for recyclement for at least 15 days. Now, when you try to do export all, even the gravity investments would come. So that's the reason now the file which says is deleted is false or true. It says that if it is false, that means the record is there. If is deleted is true, that means that is brought from the recycling bin. Okay? So I'll show the example here. I'll just simply click on export. I'll say click on account and then say extract.csv, or I can say browse. I specifically say that said data loader account extract. So that will get to know from where it is extracted. I say next. So you have these many fields. If you look at here, I don't know why this window is so small. But if you see here, these many fields accounts we have. Select all fields. If I do, I get these many fields from that particular accounts. Either you can filter. It's your wish. You can filter. I want this values, and then this particular value should be getting into. But for fields, you can either select, either come by one, like these one by one you can come, which you want to get the records, or in one go all the fields select and you say next. So it says, do you want to perform the export? I say yes. Now look at this, it says extraction. So 30 records got extracted. Out of this, you can simply just go and check here. These are the 30 fields that we have, 30 records we have that has been extracted. It takes entire Salesforce account records, which we have 30, all that have been taken here. Open external program will open in .csv file in an Excel sheet. So there were 30 successful extractions, 0 errors. If we just go to that, oh sorry, where I'm trying to, this is the one which I was downloaded now. DataLoader account extract.csv. So this is a record which, no, here, come here. Yeah, this is the one which we have. I tried to extract it. This is the complete 30 records which has got extracted here. Look at this. So I did an extract here, just simply by clicking on extract. So let me go delete one of the record, which is like say S-Force. Maybe I will just try to delete something which is common. Gravity investments. And I go delete this.
I have one question, Sven. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
So when you extracted the file, you had a file attached for one of the records, right?
Extract.
You
No.
had one of a CSV file attached. How does that look when you extracted the data?
No, that doesn't show in DataLoader. That is what I mean to say.
Oh,
When I extracted or export when I did it from the DataLoader, I just only the account object. So what did we do? We just got only the account records there.
Okay.
But if you do an export visit from a Salesforce UI, you have an options to get their associated all child objects, like say documents, images.
Oh,
So there you have an options, but we don't have an options here.
in the data loader. Okay.
Yeah. And again, export all when I say, so even the deleted records will get it, but that won't be available in, export visit from the UI.
Okay.
So that's the reason I just downloaded this. Yeah, I have downloaded the Gravity. So if you go to recycle bin, you should see them. Let me check it. So Gravity is when investments is in the in the recycle bin. So let's assume now I'm trying to export a visa. Export all I'm going to do. And same concept in account. So data load, I would say export all. So I'm just doing export all account. Say next. And I select all the fields. I don't want to see any change here. I want to save it. So view extractions, if I see, I know 30 records were there in the past also. One record I deleted though. In this all would be false. One would be true here. And if you see compare views, this is true. It should be data gravity investments. But the name of the account is not there. It's a gravity investments here. It's getting. So I deleted the gravity investments, right? So that's the reason is delta is equal to false. See, sorry, is delta is equal to true.
True. Okay.
All right, we know that the record, if it is true, that is, it is extracted even in the records in the recycle bin. So that is what I was about to say for you. So compare button 2 is done. Now hard delete we don't have an option. Hard delete means it's completely trying to do shift delete, go away from the record. We don't want any more copy, not even staying in recycle bin. And this option it should be enabled from Salesforce. Let's hard delete. How do we do it? You need to connect with them. And again, delete record is something that I have an account. I will just pass it, but I should share the ID of the record. Only then I can delete the records. So let's say this is the result records we have, right? In the result.cvc, 10 records which you upload we have here. Now, if to delete something, delete 2 3 records randomly. I'm gonna take these 2 records. I don't specify anything, so I'm gonna copy these 2 records. How did I got this ID? So while I'm inserting an account to Salesforce, at that time I got this information. Agree? So in the result, I could find all this record. Basically, you wanted to delete a record, you can have a bunch of these IDs and then copy it. So I can have a new Excel blank sheet and I can say ID. So I'm going to copy. Okay. So these 2 records, I'm going to delete it now. So firstly, let me try to open this. Who's this guy? Let me just come from here. I just gave the account ID. It says in the title audit tracks record, and the one more record which I was about to delete is this guy. So first one is audit tracks, and the second one I'm trying to look into it. Who is this guy which I'm trying to delete it now? Another guy is experience systems. This 2 record I should see in the recycle bin after I perform this action. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save this. So like this, you can have a bunch of records. For deleting a record, you need to have ID. That is more than enough. You need to have bulk of records, all of this stuff. So more options. So I'm gonna say delete account and then dot CSV. It's not dot CSV. It is sorry. So comma delimited delete account. Save it. So this is got saved now. I'm just going to DataLoader and then say delete option. See in import wizard or something, we don't have a delete option at all. Manually, we have to come to DataLoader and have to delete it. So let me choose is our account. So browse the CSV file, delete account. So this should delete 2 records. So your operation will contain 2 records, yes. ID. This is one which you have to choose for mapping. Create or edit file mapping. Because it's not at map to S4. This is the column name in the Salesforce we have, sorry, in the Excel sheet we have, but we don't have any mapping for so far. Create a mapping. Auto match fields. So what is this auto match fields? If the same ID field in Salesforce also we have, then it is ID there. If something like website we have here in Salesforce maybe a site. So that time both the fields you need to map. So you get a fields there, you need to map them. Clear mapping. Look at this. So this is something that we drag and drop like this. If couple of fields we have, we drag and drop them to match it. Even in Salesforce it is ID. If the record which you're trying to upload is also we have a column ID. So now it is mapped. Auto match, it will automatically sense what are the fields we have. Or else you have to manually drag and drop something to here to map it. You can save the mapping. If you are trying to periodically perform the same, you can save the mapping. So from next time it says that choose existing mapping. You can do it and next can proceed on. So currently ID to IDA which I map. This is in the column from the Excel. This is the column from the Salesforce. Okay, say next. See, choose existing map means something that the mapping file you already saved it, and that you want to choose it here, and then you can proceed next. That you can do. So after finishing record where you wanted to show the results, I think this particular folder is enough. Select folder. Finish. So do you want to pull it the no proceed the deleting existing records? Yes. The number of records allowed in recycle bin is limited. The actions you are about to take may cause irreversible data sometimes. Yes. Because what if you do thousands of records of deleting and then all the records cannot be recycled bin because of the data issue. So they're just giving warning. Make sure the limited records you do it. And anyway, if they don't allow available in the recycle bin, then it's not reversible also. So make sure they are asking us to do check. So view success, item deleted. Now let's just simply go to the experience which is already loaded and I just simply refresh it. So the record is deleted. And if you just wanted to come from the recycle bin, so you can see all the tracks and experience we have in the records, which is recently deleted. Is getting? So export all, export, delete we have done. Upside is basically you may have an ID of the record plus may have a new records like this. So you may have ID of the record here. Sometimes you have ID and then you put a original ID here. So in that case, you're trying to update the value. And few records doesn't have an ID. It tries to insert records for them. And then for whoever is not there, for them it is going to create it. It's just like one column you're going to have. Basically, you say that, hey, a new record is going to insert and then the old record is going to deal with. Let me try to do an insert column. I'm going to do an upset activity also here. I'm going to see ID here. So I'm going to add everything as gravity new, bx video new. So all these records will be new records now. All the trails and experience already deleted, so don't worry about it. So gravity investments also is deleted, so don't worry about them.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just wherever I'm marking as new, I am going to create new records. For these two records, I didn't map at all. So let me search an ID for these records. So for this record, I'm going to do an update activity. I'm going to map ID here. So rest of the records, I don't map ID here. So this will get to know how do we do update or insert both together. Whichever you want to do update, always you need to have ID. For whichever you want to insert, you need not to have this field at all. So that is one. Now the combination of both, I'm just trying to do an upset activity. Whichever there, it will try to insert, which is not there, it will try to. So whichever is there is going to update, which is not there, going to insert the records.
Oh, that's why it's absurd. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Update plus insert together it is. It knows the values which is there, which is not there. So wherever I see new, I'm just going to create new records. This is the existing one where I just going to find their data. So let me check again for this guy.
What happens if you forgot to give the ID for the existing record?
It tries to create a new record.
And it will be duplicate then, right?
Yeah. We should be very careful when you're doing data load. Duplicate tend to have it.
Okay.
But if you have any rules written in duplication saying that I same name, then that particular record will fail.
How do you do that? I mean, you are doing with import wizard, and do you have a facility to write the custom validations or something?
Yeah, we have something in Salesforce. We have duplicate matching rule. Good question. So if we have a duplicate rules, we can write them. Duplicate rules. So here you can choose which object you want to perform, what you want to do. You can run it here. So standard account duplicate rule. If you just click on here, so there's no any conditions that has been given saying that if account name is a account name equals this or account name something you are matching with the existing one, so then we can fire the rules. See, matching rule is we have to open them first. Wait. Duplicate rule is the one which we directly execute. Matching rule is the one on which particular criteria are trying to match the duplicates. Account matching rule. Just check on this. Okay, let me deactivate this and then check what it is. First, I need to deactivate the duplicate rule. Standard account matching rule is unique name. Look at this account name to name, city, wherever it is duplicate values, it will try to throw an error. So that is what we're expecting. On top of that, if you just say that, hey boss, hey, account names to name, same thing if insert, I'll try to throw an error. So these are optional conditions that we're mapping here. Let's do one thing. Anyway, by default, it has actions on create allow. Specify what happens when the user tries to save the duplicate record. Allow we are trying to do it, right? And let me try this block. You can allow on it, but you cannot create them. You're saying that block.
By default, it allows to have duplicate.
I mean, yes, because this is Salesforce standard order, right? So they're allowing you to do it by default. I'm just saying that block here. When the same record, a same name, if you find, I'm saying that you block it here. So let me try to activate them. Try to activate them. Look at, so what I've done is I just went on to the standard duplicate rule. I just said that hey, same actions on a create, just try to block them. So now let me come to our Excel sheet. I don't put a new here for 2 records because the same name, right? Okay. So this is existing record. These are the new records, and some records are having duplicates. What if they're all checking again this everything? Then all these records will go for failure. Only update record will happen because on a create I'm blocking it. Okay. See, only the name field you are matching, and then you say duplicate record. Okay, fine. So names are few are new and few are got modified. If you're checking even the billing city and state everything, they are also repetitive. And here I didn't change anything here. So let's see how it happens. I'm gonna save this. So what change I'm gonna do it here? This is data load. I'm gonna put it here. That means from a data load we try to update the record. Let's assume because we're doing an upset option. Okay, I just saved it. Come here, upsert account object. So browser file, account records, open. And say next. Yes, this is contains of 7 records. So why this asking ID is for the existing records, which one you want to map with? ID, that's more than enough to update a record. So look at this. This is what which I said, where you have to do a field mapping. So next you do create a Reddit field map. So where either you can directly drag and drop the fields to here respectively, or you can say auto match. Auto match from this particular fields, whatever there, it will try to select and then automatically map it here. Because we have billing street, can we put a shipping street there? We can drag and drop like this, but ideally they should be useful to us. So firstly we'll check with auto match, whichever is matching, let it match. So it matched properly. So billing city, billing postal code, all it matched automatically. Or else you have to drag and drop manually, which is like leftover. So that will help us. If you're doing the same repetitive action, do a same mapping, and you can come to the let us say choose mapping. Or else this is the first time, or every time you're doing new, you need not to save anything. Just go on. Say next.
Can't I need to drop the class. If you're uploading this recording, I'll see that, and
Okay,
tomorrow I'll continue
no
the
problem,
class.
no problem. I think almost have
Okay,
time. Yeah, okay, thank you.
thanks.
So I'm gonna finish this. So 7 records which is flowing here. Few records we have upset, few records we have. Look at these errors we have. Success why? Because we simply upsetted the value. That means it tried to update it, go and update this. Why the failures we have 5? You see, because we have duplication run there. Use one of these records, use one of this record. Do you remember that in duplicate records we have this message?
Okay.
What it says is, hey boss, this we are not worrying about the name, even the billing city, everything we are worrying about because we are all matching with the duplicate records.
Can you show me the configuration of the duplication again?
See, alert text it says use one of these records. That is what we're getting here also. Okay. Okay. Now
Okay. And when
configuration.
you
When you
do the
see, these all standard rules we have. I didn't write anything new. I just went to the duplicate rules, and matching rules you have. Of course, you
okay.
have to deactivate the rules. Only then you can modify, or else you can create a new record altogether. It's all up to you. So what did I do is
What?
I did only small changes. I just simply did a block here. What is a block I did is on creating of a record, if you find something the similar names, then you block it. I said on edit you can allow
Okay.
because they can have same name. They can edit the record. It's fine, right? So you're trying to edit the record, but you cannot create a new record with the same name. So that is like a fence. What are the fields if mapped? If you see account name is mapped, same account name you cannot create new. Same billing city, same country. All this I'm checking. You cannot have duplicates. So that is the reason. Though we have account name is something like I modified the value, but billing city country didn't modify. So they had the existing value. So they stopped it. Any one condition is enough to break this out.
And how do you do these blocking or validations if you are uploading with the data loader?
We don't do anything. It is automatically set in the Salesforce duplication rules. In the Excel
Okay.
sheet, you're
Okay.
trying to upload it, and it is going to check our standard rules. And then while checking the standard rules, boss, they have already rule written. So if you have matching rules, something, okay, we're gonna block them.
Okay.
So getting
Yeah.
we could have given any other text message, but whatever the text message is given, it shows clearly in our data results. So because of this reason only, it got failed. So why? Because we're checking billing city, state. So none of them should be repetitive here. Though name could be they are fooling us, but city, state, how could all be same name? So that's the reason it got blocked. If at all, only account name we had in the mapping sheet, only an account name we have in the mapping sheet, few records would have been already passed. But we have few other fields which is also we're checking that even they shouldn't be duplicates. Okay, so that way we also execute the duplicate matching rule, and we try to import and upset the activity also. So by this way we got everything. So upset is more than enough. Insert, update, whatever you do, so it covers both of them. If you pass ID, you do update. If you don't pass ID, you are trying to insert. If you try to pass upsert like both ID plus few records, then you're doing an upsert activity. It can have both the values you think. Delete is obviously give ID and then you knock off. Hard delete you have to ask from Salesforce to do this stuff. Export is all the records you're trying to export from the duration, whatever you want. You can choose that. Export all gets even the recycle bin records also,
Okay.
along with all the records.
How
So
long will the records will be in the recycle bin?
15 days.
Yes. Okay.
Recycling bin will hold 15 days. So now let's say you are uploading thousands of record. So your batch would run 200 records by sizes.
Oh, okay. And we
First
can
batch,
change.
yeah, you can change up to 2000. You can do it. Maximum 2000 you can do it. But we should be careful that the records, none of them should get failed. So, but default says they have 200. Let's say 50,000 records. Now you have uploading 5 million records. A huge no Excel sheet is going in. So first batch 200 records considered. The next batch it starts. So like that batch wise it keep processing it. So you want any assignment rules to check, like say how do you did for a case? Hey, go map this record. That particular thing has to be run. Then you have to check this. And any timeout seconds you want to have, you can keep this because you are writing a say Salesforce and they're inserting a record and respond back if they delayed. You want to increase the timeout, you can do it. Some systems have a proxy host and port and usernames. Why we have is in some org we have a proxies. This particular application, why what if they are not allowing you to connect to a Salesforce? You may have a proxies port and username and password set. Then you can give them and then start working on. Otherwise, we are allowing the CSV tab based also, normal CSV delimiters also. And these are the other files which formats we have UTF encoding also. You are trying to allow them also to upload the activity. Getting these are the few settings about the data loader settings. Maybe this is flat or flat system which I have. I don't have any proxies to block me. In some org they try to block it. So then be sure about giving the proxies. Get from your system admins of your company and then give all the proxy address port and then username and password so that it allows you to upload the data to your Salesforce. Then this way we are good with data loader. So one thing I want to show last of the export, whether it is got or not, data export. Yeah, we have here. So we're gonna click on the first one. So it put me in a zip folder. Let me check. Is it got one file because I tried to download the much, right? Export wizard has. So look at this. It got me account, attachments, content body, each and everything as a new things. Whereas we did from the export wizard, data loader. What did we got? Only account object we got. Look at this, but we are getting too many things here. These are the files we have got from the content version. So this will be easy to upload back to the Salesforce. Along with the what document you uploaded, even that we can send. Oh, it just got all the things. Files, documents, attachments, along with the original file also we have here. Getting size file, right? It's the original file. It uploads the size also here, how much it is. But you cannot preview them. After uploading back only you can preview them. These are all short manners we have. It has a link to Salesforce. When you upload back, only then you can regain the records to see or view them. You getting?
Mm-hmm.
So export wizards allow you to download along with the child objects, which is attachments, files, anything you have, allows us it, we can get it. But this option nowhere else we have. Only in the export wizard we have it. So that we have to request, be it it's MB or in a GB. So it takes a little time and then it gives a link to us. Then we have to extract them. But just click on download.
Is it default or you have to select the child objects?
No, you have to select the child objects. While I'm trying to do an export here, let's say I already have exported, right? It takes a little more time to get for another one. So that's the reason it is disabled as of now. After some
So
time, this will be enabled.
you
Every
cannot do
after
multiple exports at one time.
maybe you can schedule it out. Schedule for next again one day after you can schedule it out and you can do it.
How about if multiple developers have to work on or they want to
No,
export
no,
at a
this
same?
is only 1 hour which we have. All the developer has access to only 1 hour. No? So we create multiple users here. People will come log in here. If someone is already exported, you will get a link there to download. That's it. To get a new one, schedule the edit export. So I'll schedule it for tomorrow, and then I say, hey, for the again for the something like order object, I want to have attachment. I want to have the documents, and then you click on save. So for that particular duration, the order object records would be fired off. So you schedule it here, and then you want all the documents for which object you are mentioning here. Now, if I say multiple objects, I can give multiple objects also. So then huge file would be generated for this.
Mhm.
So you need to properly manage yourself. Like how do you do a data import back to some other system? You export it somehow, but the same way you have to import the data carefully to some other.
Mhm.
So this one thing we have. Otherwise, I think all I completed only mass build also. I think we have shown why the data. What is use storage? I think this also we've seen going to company and we saw this storage usage, like how many files for data storage we have this 5 MB left over and then 424 is all used. Object we don't use this at all. So look at this showing each and every object how many records we have it. Accounts we have 27 records and 54 KB days. Cases we have 34 cases we have. Opportunity 33 records we have. So that's the reason based on that KBs have been counted. So overall the storage KBs are counted and then it says in data storage as 424. So why we show is data, storage usage. If you are having too much of data in your system and then they don't have any records thereafter to insert, that means your storage is out of the limit. So that's the reason. So this also comes a part of the data utilities. Use storage, check them regularly. Whether the record is reach the storage limit, then you have to notify to your client saying that hey, we are hitting the limit.
Okay, this is for, I mean, the data storage. Okay.
Yeah,
If it reaches the limit, you cannot import or you cannot, I mean, upload the data. Okay.
exactly.
And does it varies based on the licenses? I mean, for developer, I can see only 5 MB for account, right? But will it be different for different
Yes, yes,
licenses?
it will be GBs also. Unless and until your production version is what unlimited edition and what storage you've got it. So it all depends on that.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Otherwise, we have done with the data utility chapters. So we've done with the data loader, and we've seen import wizard, and we've seen export wizard. A few pros and cons about the export wizard also we've seen. You have to wait for some durations when you wanted to do next export for another user. And the advantages you can download all the child objects, which is let's say attachments or CRM files. So that is one we have. We have the data loader that doesn't have an options. Of
So the
course, the
disadvantage for the export is someone is exporting, the button will be disabled if you're logging with the same
yeah,
credentials,
since
right?
it is already done and it don't allow you to export right now, but you can schedule and run it on. That's another options we have.
Well, let's say if I want to know in terms of customers' perspective, so they will all be having the same right of same permissions, right? So if one is exporting the data, the other person cannot export. Is it true?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like that not can do that option is disabled because you already utilized the option for today.
Oh, only once you can do per day?
See now which I did an export is that it enables after some time, unless and until the queue or whatever it is free, then only then they export it. Or they get the options.
Okay.
See, still now it is export now has been disabled.
Let's say if I'm a system admin, I'm exporting. If someone logs, if my CEO logs in with his credentials, will it be the same? That button will be disabled, or
Yeah, it is for
there?
everyone the same because all are connecting to the same org. And you also an admin, I'm also admin. We have to refer to the same URL link. So what I'm trying to say is up to 24 hours you have to wait for it to just change it. It takes time. So people won't wait for this export now. They go to scheduled export and then they start giving the duration for next day and it will be done. You need not to wait for it and give an export.
Okay.
So that's the reason they have two options. One to do right now, one to do export in future and then keep it. So when that particular time executes, it will execute and keep it ready for you.
Okay. All right.
For export now you can give as many, but export now when I say that you are giving it already and then it's been disabled.
Right. Got it.
So that's only difference you see. But this export all doesn't get you deleted records. I mean, this doesn't get the deleted record. Not, I mean,
Okay.
from the recyclable won't get the value. Only actual value which is there, which is gonna get to us.
But you can do that in data loader when you export.
Yeah,
If you do the export
but
from
that's
data loader.
absolutely about one particular object. It's not again we're gonna have their documents. All we don't get it.
Mhm. Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, I think we're done with.
Okay. All
So
right.
if Tushar is available tomorrow, I think we can complete on to the deployment process. What we're doing, and then I think majority of the chapter and the rounds that we are completed, we have to focus only on to the few configuration stuff which is really helpful to our project.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Bye.